overview of Hunting Island State Park from 1997 to 2013. The asterisk will serve as a reference point. Note the location of Cabin Road. We will examine the history of each cabin. Cabins 1, 2, and 3 located on the very south end of Cabin Road. Cabin 1, 2, and 3 was demolished in May of 2011. The north end of Cabin Road was cut off by the ocean, allowing no access for emergency equipment. The collapse of Cabin 4 leaves Cabin 12 the last standing cabin in the south end. Cabin 5, which was to the right of Cabin 4 about 30 yards, was washed away in 2011. This is all that remains of that site. Cabin 6A and 6B were lost at sea in 2009 after a large nor'easter hit the coast. Cabin 7 in 2008 was still occupied. Note the amount of erosion in the following picture. Cabin 7 was demolished in 2010 because it became a danger to the public. Cabin 8, although not occupied, remained standing until 2011. In 2011, between Cabin 8 and Cabin 12, all cabins had been washed away to sea or demolished by the Park Authority. In 2008, Cabin 10 was at the edge of the beach at high tide. It was able to stay occupied until 2009. In 2010, it was in such disrepair it had to be destroyed. This map shows you the beach when it was in healthy condition. The photo above shows you the relative position of cabin 8 and cabin 10. The map above is from 2007, and here we're showing you in 2010 the position between building 10 and building 12. These four pictures will give you an idea of how building 8, 10, and 12 sat in relationship to each other. These pictures were taken in 2010. In 2011, this was the condition of the advancing beach erosion between building 8 and building 12. This view allows you to see the amount of beach erosion that took place in this area between 2009 and 2011. Building 12 is definitely a survivor. It's still standing on the edge of the water in 2013. Although not occupied, it stands as a symbol of strength against nature. Building 13 and 14. Building 13 sat back off of Cabin Road. In 2010, the building still was occupied, but by April of 2011, in August of 2011, the building was demolished because it posed a danger to the public. Cabin 14 also was protected by a series of trees for a long period of time, until once the trees were undermined. In 2011, Cabin 14 had to be removed because, again, it posed a danger to the public. In February of 2013, at high tide, the locations of cabins 13 and 14 are now part of the ocean. An overview of Hunting Island State Park from 1997 to 2013. This is the only picture I have of Cabin A. When I returned in April of 2009, it was gone. The asterisk that serves as our reference point is right at the location of Cabin 14. There was a cluster of 4 to 5 buildings. When I returned in 2009, they were all gone into the sea. Area 2. Cabins in this area were occupied in August of 2008. When I returned in 2009, they were all washed away. Cabin Road was cut off at this point. April 2009, Cabin Road was cut at Area 2. Cabin 15, 16, 17, and 18 were still open for guests. Shortly after, there was another break in Cabin Road north of this point. This made access to Cabin 15 through 18 impossible. They were demolished. April 2009, this was what was left of Cabin Road. Area 2 was located to the left of the caution signs that you see. And this was as far as Cabin Road went. Stopped right outside of Cabin 16. At this point, Cabin 15 through 18 was still rented to the public. And in 2010, the latter part of 2010, the foundation was undermined by the tide. It was demolished in August of 2010. Cabins 16 and 17 stayed occupied for a very long time because there was still access to the facilities. This is the 2008 map that illustrates Area 2 and Cabins 15, 16, 17, and 18, which was not on the ocean side of Cabin Road. You also see the line that indicates where Cabin Road stood at 2009. 17 along with 16 and 18 survived until 2010. 2010, a section of cabin road began to break, threatening access to cabins 15, 16, 17, and 18. In 2009, cabin 19 was relocated to the north end of cabin road. The two pictures up top, you will see the location of cabin 19 in 2007-2008. Notice the missing cabin 19 in 2010-2013. In 2009, it was hoisted on a truck and moved north to another location on cabin road, which I will show you later. This was cabin 19 in 2009. At its old location. Once it was removed, all that remained was the piling. Pilings for cabin 19 stayed in place until September of 2011. The upper two pictures show cabin 19 at its old location. The lower pictures show you its location at the north end of cabin road. The pilings were removed in November of 2010 to protect the public. This section of cabin road cut by high tide started slowly in 2010. Shortly after September 2010, the road was closed because there was no access to the cabins on the southern end of the broken road. X marks the spot of where cabin road began to break up and close off access to all the cabins south of this point. A barrier was put up at this point because just 100 yards ahead the road came to an abrupt end. The upper left-hand corner picture shows cabin road when it was still passable. The other three pictures show as it is in February of 2013. From the road closed sign to the north end of the cabin, there are two cabins remaining. Cabin 19 at its new location and cabin 20. These are the only two occupied cabins. The location of cabin 19 and 20 on cabin road. An overview of Hunting Island State Park from 1997 to 2013. Hunting Island State Park. There is beach erosion on the north end, but there is a rapid erosion on the south end. All but two cabins are gone, ending a tradition of families using cabins for summer vacation. However, Hunting Island State Park has family camping. This is one of the most popular state parks and beach areas in South Carolina. The pristine sandy beach, natural setting, and warm Atlantic Ocean makes it a perfect getaway. A cabin grounds for RVs and tent camping with easy access to the beach. Hunting Island State Park Historical Lighthouse is open to the public. I do this for the health of it. Join me if you dare.